I did push-ups for 100 days without any other type of weight training. If you're like me, you get bored with exercise after 2 to 3 months. Some people can keep doing the same thing over and over again and get results without getting bored. I don't have that superpower. You're also probably terrified of losing gains when you miss time in the gym. But what if you could offset that by dropping to the floor and cracking off a bunch of push-ups? That's exactly what I started to wonder when I got about halfway through my 100 days. What the heck is going to happen to my bench press strength? Let's start by looking at the research. General consensus is quite varied, but it's usually in that 2 to 4 week range that the research shows there's beginning to be some drop in strength. Most of the studies on detraining focus on older adults, probably because of the impact that loss of strength has on your function and the impact on the healthcare system. A study in 2020 looked at 40 older men, 30 in the training group and 10 in a control group. None of them participated in strength or endurance training for 12 months prior to the study. The men in the training group went through 12 weeks of training and then 12 weeks of detraining, where they basically didn't exercise at all, and then 12 weeks again of retraining. Detraining resulted in a significant drop in strength and power, but it remained above baseline. The loss of strength and power was about 5 to 15%. Interestingly, some of the strength and power muscle fiber type changes were preserved through the entire 12-week detraining period. And after the 12 weeks of retraining, all of the gains were back. A similar study was done in 2015 with women. The big difference in this one was 12 weeks of training followed by 1 year of detraining and another 12 weeks of retraining. After the year of detraining, they lost all of their gains almost, and the majority of their muscle mass gains, but it did remain above baseline. And after a quick 12-week retraining period, they were right back to where they were after the initial 12 weeks. Pretty impressive when you consider they were an additional year and 12 weeks older and started as an elderly subject. Imagine your muscle cells are like growing a business, and each department is managed by a manager called a myonuclei. These little myonuclei managers oversee a certain department of the muscle that's in charge of growth. To grow the business or the muscle over time, you need more capable managers or myonuclei to help that happen. When you engage in training, it's like hiring new managers from nearby assistants or satellite cells. When you decide to pause your business and stop in growth mode, you don't necessarily fire those managers. They hang around for a while, and when you're ready to go back into growth mode, they're there to again activate, manage, and organize that department of the muscle. A 2010 study at the University of Oslo on mice found that when you detrained, those myonuclei would stay even for potentially several years. So without getting into the weeds of muscle physiology, muscle memory is in fact real, and this is an explanation. So these studies tell us we do know that detraining is going to hurt your gains. My question is the stimulus from the bodyweight push-ups and the high reps enough to maintain or at least minimize the strength loss from that 100 days that I took to do the study? If so, this could be a great tool for your body and mind to help put you at ease when you can't get to the gym. My baseline strength for the bench press test was 205 pounds, or about 111% of my body weight. You can see here on this test, I'm doing 155 pounds for 10 reps, and using any calculator you can find on the web for 1RM. This brings me out to a little bit over 205. We'll round down to 205 to be conservative. For the push-up study, I used a device called CoolMit over 12 weeks. I did 4 weeks where I used the device in between my sets of push-ups. I did 4 weeks without the device, and then I did an additional 4 weeks, again, with the device in between my sets. Each workout had 5 sets of as many push-ups as possible with 3 minutes of rest in between each set. During the first week with the CoolMit, my baseline push-ups went from 78 total reps in 5 sets up to 109 push-up reps. During phase 2, I went from 109 push-ups to 98 push-ups, a drop of 10%. And during phase 3, I went from 109 push-ups to 120 push-ups for an additional increase in 10%. That brought my total increase in push-ups from 78 to 120 for a total increase of 53% over 100 days. Definitely impressed with the improvement of my muscle endurance over 100 days using push-ups, but let's see what would happen ultimately with my strength. After 100 days without doing any bench press whatsoever, I did a brief warm-up and got back under the bar with 155 pounds. To my surprise, not only did I maintain, I actually gained a few reps. 155 pounds for 12 reps which brings out a 1 RM of close to 215 pounds. This is probably due to some of the muscular endurance gains that I got from the high rep training that I tend to shy away from. Obviously, this is just a single user case and fitness is highly individualized. I suggest you give it a try to see if it makes a difference for you like it did for me. Leave a comment below to let me know your experience with D-training and if you decide to give it a try yourself. If you're scheduled for a vacation and you want to relax, do some push-ups, the gains will be there when you get back. Muscle memory is real. Hire some more managers today for a better and stronger tomorrow. If you want to see a more detailed video on the CoolMint device that I did my push-up experiment on, click here.